Now, I want to bring this home by focusing on a few last situations which will epitomize the Spirit of God, actually coming the power of the Spirit in the book of Acts. Now, at one point, when they go on their first mission in Acts 13, it says that Elymas, the sorcerer, opposed them and tried to turn the governor away from the faith. And then Saul, Paul, it says, was filled with the Spirit. Spirit comes on Paul. What does he do? Speak in tongues? No, he did speak in tongues, but not them. He looked straight at the sorcerer and began to confront and rebuke him powerfully. You see, now, we don't often think this, but in the Hebrew Scriptures, the Spirit comes on God's servants, and often the result of the Spirit is battling, fighting. He gave them the power to fight. In this, the Spirit of God gives you the power to fight, not against other people, not against them, not to be belligerent, but the power to fight against darkness, against the enemy, against what is not God. The Spirit of God, you know, and say, well, I'm not a fighter. It doesn't. You have to fight, because if you don't fight, you're giving in. You know, because you have a war, so you're giving in. You may be accepting things that you shouldn't be accepting in your life. To fight as in a way you never could, as did Gideon, as did Barak, as did Joshua, as did Samson. Samson, you don't think of Samson as Pentecostal, but the Spirit came on Samson. He didn't take up a tambourine. He took up a jawbone of a donkey and killed people. Now, I'm not telling you to do that. But I'm telling you, in the spiritual realm, you're to be a spiritual Samson. If that's the power of the spirit of Samson in the natural, what is the power of the Spirit in you in the supernatural? You have the power to be like a spiritual Samson. All of these things the enemy's harassed you, to take up what God has and slay them, one after the other, by the Spirit of God. Imagine you were that powerful as Samson. Well, you are in the Spirit if you take it up. Look at the attitude of God's fighters. Like, they weren't on the defense. Once the Spirit came, they were on the offense. The Spirit changes you from living a defensive life to living an offensive life. Amen. Seek always. You know, there's another. Instead of fearing the next challenge, take it as, hey, this is another chance for me to have victory again. Take the attitude of the Spirit. Don't give in to evil. Fight it. And say, look for a new opportunity. Okay, it's a fight. I'm going to have another victory. The apostles left the Sanhedrin in the book of Acts, rejoicing because they had been counted worthy of suffering disgrace for the name. What's strange about that? They're rejoicing that they were worthy of suffering for the name, counted worthy. You see that in the book of Acts. They're persecuted, the people, they rejoice. Persecute more, they rejoice again. Rejoice makes no sense to anybody but believers. Only believers know this. I knew believers from communist Europe. They were arrested by the communists. They would be in prison for a good while. They were women. And they're in the car being taken by the communist police, and they're rejoicing. Rejoicing. Believers are crazy by the Spirit. The power of the Spirit is the power to go against the way of the world. It's contrary. It's a contrary power. Where the worst could be going through the hardest times, and you get by the Spirit, you rejoice. A joy wells up in you. The worst time, and you can rejoice in the joy of the Lord. You're persecuted for Messiah's name. What does Messiah say? Jump up and down, leap for joy. How? By the Spirit of God. You've got the power of contrariness. The power, what? Because the Spirit is contrary to the world, so you got a power of going against anything for God. In the midst of hate, not going against them, you love. That's the contrary power. You have the power to go again. I'm not going to respond the same way by hating them back. I'm going to love them. Makes no sense. They've cursed me, I bless them. In the midst of gloom, you have the power to hope. And in the midst of persecution, the power to leap for joy.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Cahn, and I hope you were blessed with the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you're notified every time a new video is posted. Feel free to share your reactions with your comments and how you were blessed, and share this video with your friends. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.